Hi there, Win Win Nation. Good afternoon. I am Michelle L. Forbes, and yes, you are tuned into the Win Win Live talk show and podcast. Here, where we share with you winning stories, win win stories, persons who would have gone through their life experiences, their journeys, and would have learned some lessons from the wins that they would have experienced and from the losses from which they earned winning lessons. Yes, and on occasions we have a sit down and we talk and dialogue together. This afternoon is one such. Before we get real comfy, I want to ask you to go right ahead and hit that like button, hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the share. We want to share this afternoon's show with persons who we know would be interested in what we are talking about today: creation, creator, you as a creator. This afternoon, as you would have seen the flyer, if you were able to catch it when it was posted this morning, the topic and the tagline speaks of who you are. On the flyer itself, it asks, what have you created lately? And another question followed that is, who is benefiting from what you would have created lately? Or let me add to that, or what you would have created at some point in your life, because you could have created something from year or years before and it's still serving mankind today, just like the very devices that I'm using now. It wasn't just created today, but it's still serving mankind that we are using it up to today. So to this afternoon, as we look at this, and on the flyer you would see I have part one. We want to do a dive into looking at who we are, the role that we carry as a creator. In the scriptures, it is written, in the beginning, God created. And further on within that same chapter, he said that he created, he made man, he formed man in his image and in his likeness. There goes you as a creator. Any sort of being, species, animal, plant, create after its own kind. So a human being gives birth to another human being. A dolphin gives birth to another dolphin. A creator gives birth to a creator. That's you and that's I. As I was preparing for today's show, I thought to myself, and what the vision that I caught was that of a field, whether it be a baseball or cricket field, whatever the field is that some game is played on. As I caught glimpse of that vision, I saw how vast and wide the field is, but how few persons are on it, and how packed the stands are with spectators, supporters, persons who just come to have fun with the thing that they love. And so this afternoon, hi Alicia, hi Sharian, good to have you in the house, both of you. So this afternoon, I wanted to touch on that. As I caught glimpse of that field, I was like, whoa. So often we settle ourselves and become very comfortable with just being a spectator, with just looking on, watching everybody else going ahead and making waves and ripples in the waters, paving roads that didn't exist before in their lives. And we watch For some, we applaud and we rejoice with them. For some, they criticize and find fault. But I want to ask you this afternoon. This afternoon's show is to ignite into action, to bring about ignition that will lead to action. I want to ask you, hi Vanessa, how are you? Good to have you in the house, woman of God. This afternoon, I want to ask you to I want to ask us to examine ourselves. So we're looking at that field, let's say a baseball field, and it is wide, it is huge, with just few men on the field, but has the capacity to hold way much more. A lot of people are in the stadium, but the masses are the ones who look on, spectating, enjoying the game, having to say things, some go there to look other people. And for many different reasons, persons show up to that field, to that stadium. But as I caught the glimpse of that field, I saw the potential of the field to hold so much more folks on it. But the masses settled for just being on the outskirts. As I share that vision with you that I got, I want to ask you a question. Where have you allowed yourself to become comfortable? Just being a spectator, just supporting? Or should you be one of those persons who are on that field? The field has potential to hold way much more than just 10 men or 7 men. Forgive me, I don't know the numbers for baseball. Baseball is not one of my games that I fancy. So this afternoon, I want to ignite you guys. I want to bring thought into the thought wheels turning into our minds. As I shared when we just started, we are establishing today's show on the very beginning, where we came from. In the beginning, God. What did he do? In the beginning, the first thing he did was he created. He created, and as he went down the line, creating, the first thing he created was light. He needed light to work, to continue the creation project that he was on. As it goes down, we see where he created us in his image and is his likeness. So it speaks to, I am a creator. Sherry-Ann, you are a creator. Vanessa, you are a creator. Alisa, you are a creator. You are a creator. God has called you to walk the path of a creator. He has, it's more than just a calling. It is a design. It's made, you're wired. And so I'll show you simply. You go in your kitchen, and out of the flour and the rice and all the other ingredients come a tasty meal. That was you, lightly flexing your muscles as a creator with just a meal. And so simply we take that for granted. God said, do not despise the day of small beginnings. So simple we take that for granted. As I will share with you guys, and I hope that the audio will be able to go through, where, and the stories come over and over. One young woman, the IT, created a skincare product right in her living room. Sold it for $1 billion. We're talking about creator you. One sister, she lost her job and was devastated and thinking this was it. Me and my children, we are going to die for hunger. When she went to the man of God, her pastor, that's Miles Monroe, when he was here, he told her, relax. Do you have an oven? Do you by chance have any sugar, any flour? Okay, yes, 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 Pastor. Bake cookies. And the same firm that laid you off, go and deliver cookies to everyone the next day. In obedience to to her pastor, she went and did just that. She, the term we use, bake, but she created cookies out of flour, sugar, whatever cookies, whether it be oatmeal or cook or chocolate or just plain, whatever the other ingredients are, she baked and created cookies from that thing. I am calling for us to sit, be intentional about sitting and looking at your hands. God, what is it that I am to create? I know I am a creator. God, I embrace my DNA as creator. This is who I am. Because you have made me so. I accept, I embrace it. So I'm no longer running from it and thinking, oh, Michelle will do it, man. And the brother video, I embrace creator me. And upon embracing that, God, I am now asking, what am I to create in this world that will serve me, my family, and this world? As we look around our house, as we look on our skins, we are wearing creations of other people. How about we decide it's time for me to give back now? To serve mankind, to serve my fellow mankind with what God has already pre-packaged me with to create and serve this world. I want to ask that you allow yourself not to sit and be comfortable any longer. Trouble yourself. Pull and tug. As I said, pull and tug, immediately what I think of is that child who wants something from mommy and he or she is not going to keep on pulling. Mommy, please, for chocolate, please, for candy, please, for raisins. Until they receive it. I wanted to challenge you to position yourself right there. Do not stop pulling until you receive. Even as I shared that with my mind ran back to Abigail, our second child. As a little 2-year-old, 2+-year-old, she was fixated on raisins. I believe this child dreamt about raisins every night. Every morning that God said that she wake up, she would match come into the kitchen when I'm preparing breakfast. Raisins, raisins. And she's not moving until you take a little and put in her hand. Raisins. She's not moving from there. That's the position I want for us to take. We're not moving, God. I want to give back. I have been taken in every shoe I wear, in every clothes I put on my back, in the light that I turn on, Mr. Thomas Edison, in everything. I've been taken and receiving so much from this world and my fellow human beings who have been creating. I am now ready. I am taking ownership. I am a creator and I am now ready to give back. God, what is it? And don't move if you have to go back and go back and go back. We all know the story of Mr. Edison. What if he had given up at the 90th time, at the 150th time? His name wouldn't be known today. I'm pretty certain with the brilliance of man and man's mind that God made, there would be somebody else who would have discovered and created and invented light. But it wouldn't have been Thomas. So as you take ownership of, I am a creator. This is how God wired and made me in his image, in his likeness. So I'm taking ownership of that today. Now, God, what is it? And you continue going back, just like Mr. Edison. You keep on going back, just like Mr. Edison. You keep on going back, just like Mr. Ed, going back, going back, going back. There is not one tap, my mom would tell me, that drive the nail into the wood. Some pong, pong, pong. For any of you who would have dealt with nails before, a lot of ponging before it goes. And if the wood is hard, it takes a little more effort and sometimes a little longer. What I would say to you, make up in your mind that whatever it is you came packaged to this earth with to deliver, to create, to invent, you're going to deliver. You're not going 6 feet deep until you push it out. I challenge you to make that. If you have to write it on your mirror, if you have to put it as a reminder in your phone, make that decision, whatever it is that I came to this earth to deliver in the image and likeness of God as a creator. I'm going to do it. I am not checking out without it being done. I'm not, whether it is a product or it is a service. It will serve you. It will serve your family. It will serve mankind. I'd like to share with you a story. And I'd like to share with you a story of one of our kind. I believe the folks that I see in the house so far are women. And I'd like to share with you, I'm not sure if you've ever heard of Madam C.J. Walker. Madam C.J. Walker was an American entrepreneur, philanthropist, and political and social activist. She is considered the first female self-made millionaire in America and one of the most successful Black entrepreneurs of her time. Born into poverty, let me say that again, born into poverty. So she wasn't born with a silver spoon, gold spoon, or platinum spoon in her mouth. Poverty. As I read that there, right away, the signal go off in my mind. She didn't use where she started as an excuse to say, I can't. She didn't use an excuse. So, born into poverty, Walker began her career as a laundress and hair care entrepreneur. So she used to do laundry and hair care as her starting business. She developed and marketed a line of beauty and hair products specifically for Black women and began selling them door to door. Today, we have the luxury of not only putting up a physical structure that you can walk into or that your clients and customers could walk into and come and buy, but we have the worldwide internet where we can take it even further. She went door to door. That is what existed in her time. That is what she had accessible at her time. She didn't use the excuse, I don't have the funds to open a shop, to buy a store space as yet. So what do I do? She got up, made her products, and went door to door. Her business, Madam C.J. Walker Manufacturing Company, became one of the most successful and profitable companies in America. In addition to her business, Walker was also a prominent philanthropist and political and social activist. She used her wealth. So, this is where you see the dynamic of what she created now coming in very useful to generate, to be able to push her passion, being a philanthropist and a social activist. She used her wealth to support various charitable causes, particularly those that focused on education and empowerment of Black women and children. She also supported the National Association for Advancement of Colored People, NAACP, and the National Youth Movement, an organization that helped young African Americans find employment. Madam C.J. Walker's story is an inspiration to many, and her legacy lives on as what, guys? An example for a successful entrepreneur who made a significant contribution to society through her business and philanthropic efforts. That's what we're talking about here. Contribution. Contributing what we came here to deliver to the world. Will it be easy? No. Does anything good comes easy? None that I know of. Will it be worth it? Absolutely yes. 1,000 times over, yes. 1,000,000 times over, yes. As a result of what she created, the wealth that came out of her creation, she was able to fund charities that focused on education for empowerment of Black women and children. As I read that, I thought to myself, what if she had used where she came to be born in poverty-stricken culture as an excuse to say, I can't attain to much. I don't have anything to give or to offer. How much of those persons, women and children, would have not been served, not been ministered to, because she failed to carry out her mission, her assignment to create that Black skincare product. I challenge us today to let our desire to serve, to let our desire, our decision to not leave earth still carrying what you came to deliver. So that's our decision, and let our desire to serve others with what we create be so greater than the fear to step out and do it, than the frustration, than the fight back, than the pull down when you do step out to do it. Because you will have the challenge that will arise the moment you step out to say, I'm going to do, I'm going to go up higher, I am going to be. The challenge will come. And that is not a sign to say, oh, I'm on the wrong track. Nope. That is an opportunity to grow, to stretch, to be resilient, exercising that resilient muscle within. That I'm going to push through no matter what, no matter who. I know this is what I'm supposed to do, and I'm going to push through with it. So in order for us to get to the point where we are putting in motion what we know we came created to do, it first starts with a thought. Thomas Edison thought about producing light, creating light, inventing light. And then he took action towards his thoughts. C.J. Walker thought about creating a skincare product, creating products specifically, beauty products, hair products for women, specifically Black women. It started with a thought. Can I invite you and encourage you to begin to set times, thought times, and guard that time? Like, this is the time when I just sit and be still and hear the thoughts of my mind and the thoughts of my heart. And at times when you're doing that, you will hear communications coming to you through Holy Spirit, where you're getting directives on what to do and how to do, strategy, insights, revelations. I would like to submit to you today that this is the season, and it is a season that will be ongoing, where you sit and take time to think. Think on pertinent matters like, I am a creator. What have I created lately that is not only serving me and my household, but serving mankind? What have I created lately that can generate income that I am either putting in motion or is about to put in motion? What? And I challenge you not to settle and sink back into the comfort chair, the comfort zone. Because it's so easy to just stay there and do nothing. It's easy, very easy. The masses in the spectator columns, in the spectator stance, again, back to our playing field, the baseball. It's very evident there. It's very easy. But it took some doing to get those guys on that field. Late night practices, early morning workout routines, all day going when they have marathons of just working it, preparing for the game, sitting down, studying the game. It takes some doing to get on that field. But are you willing to take that doing? Are you willing to do that doing? Are you willing to walk that path? I'm hoping today that we'll have some persons to say, yes, Michelle, I am. I know I am a creator. I embrace the creator me, and I'm going to create my socks off with everything that God has placed within me to create and deliver to this world. I challenge you not to settle. I challenge you not to settle. So today's show, we're looking at ignition to action. Ignition to action. But before you could even get up to act, we have to first pause for a cause to think. After we surrender, I am a creator, God. I know I've been created in your image and likeness, and I accept, I embrace, and I take ownership. After that step begins the thought process, the pursuing. until you receive and you know this is it. And you have the instruction, the blueprint, and you begin to do. I'm going to quickly share with you from that same story I was sharing with you, the woman who lost her job. She was laid off and she went to complain to her pastor, Miles Monroe. And what happened after that? I'm going to ask you guys to let me know if you can hear it clearly. When I'm playing it, as it is not in the app itself, I'm playing it on the outside, so I'm not sure how clear it comes through, but let me know. Yes?
There's something you carry in. A lady came to my office crying. She was so depressed. And she said, Pastor, I just got fired, laid off from my job. They're cutting back, and I just got laid off. And I got 3 children all by myself. And I was working at the hotel making beds. And now I lost my job. All I have in my hand is my last paycheck.
Thank you,
what
Alicia.
am I supposed to do? And she started weeping and complaining. And she said, this is all I have.
Thank you, Gareth.
And I got 3 children. How am I going to feed them? And she was there weeping. I just looked at her and I smiled. She said, how can you be smiling when my whole family just got canceled? I said, are you finished? Yes, Pastor. I said, okay. I said, I know you. You've been coming to this church a long time. I said, do you have an oven in your house? Yes. I said, how many times do you use your oven in a week? Once. I said, wait a minute, you bought an oven and it's there 7 days a week and you only use it once a week. Yes, every Sunday. I said, that means you are abusing your oven. It is lying idle 6 days a week. Useless. What are you getting at, Pastor? I said, do you have any flour in your house? Yes. Do you have any sugar? Yes. I said, look, you remember those cookies you made for me a few times? Yes. I want you to go home and take this last check you have and buy all the ingredients that you made those cookies from. And I want you to make cookies and take them back to the same hotel that laid you off. And give everybody in the hotel free cookies. What are you talking about, Pastor? I said, just do what I say. If you obey me, you'll succeed. But I said, you obey me, and you'll succeed. Okay. So she left my office. I prayed for her, prayed over the check. I said, go. And she went to the food stall, baked cookies that night, called me up. She says, I'm going to the hotel to give them out. I said, that's fine. And she went to the hotel. Little plastic bags, give everybody, all the employees, all the managers, supervisors, give everybody free cookies. And they were shocked to see her back on premises. She said, I just came to tell you all thanks. 2 days later, she called me. She says, Pastor Miles, I got orders for 15 dozen cookies. I said, that's good. I said, tell them you want prepayment.
Absolutely.
She went back, made up a little form, and they prepaid. She paid 15 dozen cookies. The next week, it was 25. 6 months later, she had to get a beautiful, what would they call those big ovens? These industrial ovens. Then she hired 2 people to help her make the batter. 1 year later, this lady had an employment of 12 people, 1,000 dozen cookies every month. 2 years later, she has a factory.
1 year.
All the big food stores are buying her cookies packaged. And today she's a multi-millionaire. One day she came to see me and she was dressed real sharp in a suit with a bag in her hand. And she said, Pastor, I just came to tell you thanks. I said, thanks for what? I forgot what was going on. She said, I bought you some cookies. I said, oh, I know who you are. Yeah. She said, yes, the company's going fine. 115 people on staff. Distribution all over the place. She said, I just want to thank you And I want to thank God for them firing me. And she says, there's something in the bag. And I looked in the bag, there was an envelope. And I said, what is it? She said, just open it. I opened it up with $10,000 check. She said, I just want to tell you, thanks for letting me see that my gift was always in me.
Come on.
And it was buried under a job. And God knew I would never find my gift until he got rid of the job. I said, Lord, let me find a few more cookie women, please.
1 more year later. 1 year later. You know what struck me from that? And I would love for you guys to answer. For those who are tuned in now and for those who will tune in after, I'd like for you to share with me what struck you in that. Before I share what struck me, I'd love for you to share what struck you, what stood out most for you in that short excerpt. 1 year later, she had a factory and had staff and filling orders. What struck you? What stood out to you most from that clip of that lady's testimony? Wow. She thanked God for them firing her, because through that she found out her gift. That product that she was to create was hidden under a job. Are we grateful for jobs? Do we appreciate God's provision for jobs? Absolutely. Absolutely. Is that where he has called us to be for the remaining days until thine kingdom come? Question mark. And it's for you, it's for I, to go pursue, seek him, and find out. Follow through. Okay, Garrett, you said what stood out to you? Follow through with the instruction that led to ownership. So after she took ownership, she followed through. Thank you for sharing, Garrett. In the midst of her uncertainty with the little she had left, her obedience, her yes to the word. Thank you, Alicia. So even though she was uncertain, she still stepped out in obedience to the word. Yep, that's key. That is definitely key. Sherry-Ann, Nessa, if you're still here, Vanessa, if you're still here, share with me what stood out to you most in her story. And then I'll share mine. What stood out to me most? Now a multi-millionaire, shipping cookies all over, have several orders filling. What stood out to you the most? It reminded me of the woman in the Bible with her last flour and oil. Yes, Alicia. Yes, it reminded me of that as well. Yep. It also reminded me of the woman with the pot of oil, with the oil, and the prophet told her to go and get vessels, borrow vessels. It reminded me of that as well. Because that was a business that came out of that simple instruction. And the instructions that we get are usually simple instructions. But I challenge us, do not treat it lightly. Do not lightly esteem the simple instructions that come to us from God. Simple instructions. Do you have flour? Do you have sugar? Go use your oven and bake some cookies and take it to the same firm that just fired you. Simple instructions. And it seems ridiculous. Like I not only take it to them, but give it to them for free. You're not going there to sell. You're going to give it to them. So they just fired me. I have my children as a single mom, and I don't have a lot of money. And then I am going to dig in my pocket to go make cookies and give them free. Yep. If you obey me, sowing seeds. Yep. Okay, so I was holding out for yes, indeed, Alicia. Sowing seeds bring harvest. Yes. Yes. So her man of God was not only teaching her, it was layered. Her lesson was layered. There is something you have within that you need to create, you need to invent, you need to produce to serve you and your family and to serve mankind. And the sowing of the seed is going to help you to get there. What stood out to me was she had employees. Employees. And I thought that just stand out strong to me because again, I'm like, what if she did not obey? Those people will be jobless or working somewhere else where they had no call working because they're called to work in her place, in her factory. They were the destiny helpers for her factory. What if she had not obeyed? Just like CJ Walker. Those women and children that she served. What if? I want us to decide today that there will not be a what if said concerning your life. There'll not be a what if said concerning my life. Because we're going to make sure that whatever God has delivered to us to create and to make manifest in this world, that it's done either before He returns or before we go 6 feet deep. I challenge us today to make that decision. I take ownership as creator, created in your image and likeness. I take ownership. And so I ask you, what is it? And for some, you already know. And for some, it's more than one creations. Thomas Edison, oh man, he was known. By the time he was finished, it was thousands of patents that he was responsible for creating. The man, John C. Carver, who created many products out of peanuts, over 300 by the time he was finished. And it was creator he went to. He would get up and he would go and he says, okay, creator, show me what I can get out of this one peanut. And what he said his testimony is, he saw the curtains open and would show him a product. And he would say, okay, and he would step off and go and create it. And he would come back again, show me, creator, what I can get out of this. The curtains will open. God will show him another product and another product and another product. When he was finished, over 300 out of one peanut. One nut. How many products came out of that? Because he kept on going and he kept on going and he kept on going. And I would not be surprised if there wouldn't be more. My mind and train of thought is limitless because the God I serve is limitless. He cannot be contained. And so even though I attain, I go back because I know there's no limit with him. So I'm not going to put a limit either. I'm not going to cap. No, I'll keep going and I'll keep going and I'll keep going and I'll keep going until I take that last breath or he takes me home by way of the rapture because of how unlimited he is, limitless God. So I challenge us today as we bring the curtains down. I thank you for joining us today as we had a candid conversation about us as creators. Ask yourself, where are your employees that are waiting on you? Alicia, Gareth, Sherian. Are they suffering? Are their lives being made harder by the minute, by the second, because you have not yet created what you are to be created? They are waiting, just going through the mill, just going through the mill, going through the mill, going through the mill. Because who is supposed to position themselves has not yet positioned him or herself. It's time. And yes, Nasar, I hope I'm not butchering your name, Nasar, you are so correct. As the clip was being played, I was able to go back up and read. God is giving his people witty inventions, witty ideas and inventions in this season that will yield increase. And might I add to that, increase that is multiplied, increase in multiples. Yeah. But it's a whosoever will. The God we serve, he is a gentleman and he's not going to force. If you decide, no, God, I'm not a creator. That's not me. I don't do that. He's not going to force. But I can tell you, the day you accept, receive, embrace, this is who I am. That's it. He will make known to you as you seek, as you go, as you pursue. And I look forward to gleaning, to partaking of your products, of your services, just like you have and will mine. Yeah. Yep. We have productions that we have done and we will continue to produce. The I Am Loved and Affirm Gratitude Journal. If you have not yet picked up your copy, let me get you. Then by all means, you go ahead. As one of the many inventions that God has called me to invent, and I continue, called me to create, and I continue, and I continue. I can tell you from my personal testimony, it has been a tremendous blessing. It has been, and it causes me to smile like, you're the one who wrote this book, and it is blessing the socks off of me, the sockses on me. Sometimes I double layer the socks when the feet get cold. But yeah, if you haven't yet picked up yours, definitely go and pick up. Just before we go, I'll share with you the promo on the journal, and then we're gonna wrap it up. That's it. Thank you again for tuning in and for sitting and us having a conversation with us today. It was my pleasure. And yes, we will be having a part 2 within the week. I will be scheduling it and you will see the flyer when they go out. Please spread the word, share the live, share the show with family, friends, and help us to go ahead and serve our community as we share on these topics that we are certain that will bless them, that will bring value to them, that will cause them to grow, to expand, and become way better than they were before they listened. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of the Sunday to you and your family. Bye now.